Hello, today we're playing Cross Blitz. Before I get into it, there's a couple of items of business about the channel. One, I'm looking into improving my audio input device to avoid the peaking issue that it has had in the past. Might be a couple of weeks before I get everything sorted out there, but that is something I'll be working on and learning how to do better. In addition to this, I'm also planning on transitioning the channel style a little bit more towards less frequent uploads but longer videos, right? So whereas before it was an upload every day or two for approximately 40 to 60 minutes, now I'm thinking something more along the lines of 2, maybe 3 times a week, but longer videos with more battles in them. So with all that out of the way, gonna go ahead and hop on in. I did play some Tusk Tales off camera. I did maybe 2, maybe 3 runs, just to get a feel for it. It's very fun. This one's a lot more like Slay the Spire. There were a couple of things that really stood out to me, namely being that you could put trinkets on your minions, which would empower them in some kind of way. And the trick here was that the trinket would apply to all copies, present and future, of that minion that you have, right? So if I had, the Buccaneer, a 1-mana 1/1 with Tough, and I gave it +2 attack with a trinket. That means that every copy of the Buccaneer will have that same +2 attack, and you start with 5 of them in the default deck. So that was very interesting. You get a lot of value out of those trinkets. Beyond that, of course, you just get the relics, same as in Fables, and the fights have a lot of variety. And the other key thing here was that you would have a secondary mercenary in your team, and you would also begin to draft their cards as well. So very cool. I think I might start doing a series on this as well later on. I mostly want to focus on Fables for now, but very cool mode. So as I recall, we left off right before we fought Mama Grub. So I think that's what we're going to just hop straight on in and get right in there. I do believe I had the deck in a workable state, so I'm just gonna hop in immediately. Real quick, we're gonna check her relics. She has, after you play your first golem minion in a turn, it gets a random minion to her hand. Okay. Gives golem minions in starting hand +3 health. Okay, so that could be very inconvenient to trade into. I'm not sure what golem minions look like in terms of stats. So like if these are like X1s, that could make them very inconvenient to trade with, but if they were already really tanky, not a big deal. And then Mana Vial just has 1 more mana. Okay, so this is just sounding like a really accelerated mid-range deck that I'm about to play into. Cannons, in theory, would be effective against a mid-range strategy, just because I can kind of control their board, even with tankier minions that are hard to trade into. Great.
They keep kicking me over and over again. And all I did was offer them some warm homemade pie. I don't know what I did to deserve this, Mama. Those hooligans will pay dearly for hurting my little grubba puppa.
Ahoy! We interrupting something? Big boy... Ooh. Big Mama's boy after the broadside!
It's them, Mama! They're the ones who hurt me. You're in for it now, Redcroft.
So you're the bullies who harmed my baby boy! The nerve! Easy there, miss. Let us explain. Don't think you can talk your way out of this one, young man. My motherly intuition is always right, and it's telling me that you and your gang of miscreants are as guilty as they come. No one harms a single precious hair on my baby's head and lives to tell the tale. Oi, here she comes. Brace yourselves, lads. Angry Mama on deck. All right, let's see here. Do I keep the grog is the question. I mean, probably. I don't really think I have anything more productive to do with the 1 mana. I will be wanting to have a grog in my hand for turn 7, so I can make a big play with, what's his name? But I think keeping 1 makes perfect sense. I'll keep a Cannoneer. Rigby can go. Flintlock's a good draw. Alright. Ah, I forgot I had purchased that relic. That's right. Wow. That's fortunate to have drawn the Morty so early. I was worried I would have to dig for it for the whole match. Okay, so here's an example of a golem. And how much health did it say it was giving him? Plus 3 health. So this would have been a 1-mana 1/1. Okay. Oh dear. What is a blueprint? So this thing is... Oh dear. What am I gonna do about him? I think I'm just gonna take the hits and just chill. You know, get rid of this guy. I'll just let this guy chip at me for a little bit. He's probably gonna do a lot of damage, presuming she summons a reasonable amount of golems. Ah, she has traps as well. Oh, lifesteal. So here's the question: can she overheal? My guess would be no. And that seems to be correct. Hold on, let me actually read what it does. Damage this minion deals also heals the controlling hero by that amount. Okay, it does what I thought it does. Very good. So let's put the ship's cannon. Oh boy, we do have the concern of this trap possibly being... Ooh, there's a lot of bad outcomes here. Recoil rockets, not really a problem for the time being. Mana diffuser, a non-issue entirely. Gizmo provisions could be inconvenient, but it's not really a big deal. I'm mostly just worried about getting my cannon block beamed, but that's... I mean, I just play into it anyway, because... Okay, it is the block beam. Fair. That's inconvenient, but it's not terrible because I'm going to be curving into Flintlock anyways, so... Oh, wait, hold on. Did that say it stole a copy off the top of my deck? I think that's what it said. Now the question is this the card that they got? Or did it shuffle my deck? I'm not sure. We'll see. First things first though, I just want to get my Flintlock online. Don't really have a great place to put it in either of these columns, so I'm just going to put him over here. Still playing from behind for sure. But hopefully I can make a nice little tempo swing here on this turn. He does have access to the musket cannon expert. I don't really think that is relevant at all because he has no ability to use those cannons. Okay, so it seems like Cannoneer is what he got instead. So either the card actually took the card, but I'm pretty sure it said it took a copy, or it just shuffled my deck after he took it. Either way, not a big deal. Okay, so let's make the most out of this. I can put a Hothead Monkey in this column. Alternatively, I could just play Musket Cannon Expert, but he just loses in a trade with this guy, and I only fire the cannon once. So ideally, I want to... Then again... I don't have a spell to use with Morty, so I'm not really worried about... Like, if I could proc Morty, obviously then curving Musket into Morty would make sense, but I don't have a spell, so that's not really much of a problem I'm worried about. So what I want to do is Cinder Soot. Cinder Soot will destroy this crow, and then I'll fire a cannonball somewhere else. Never mind. That's slightly inconvenient. So now here I'm just going to play Cannoneers instead. I still don't care about taking that 3 damage repeatedly. So I'm just going to put these Cannoneers in these unoccupied columns here. So it is not Block Beam. We're going to see what happens when Flintlock attacks here. That could be the, what did they call it? Reinforcements, I believe. It was not reinforcements, and it wasn't the rockets either. So this is probably Counterspell. That's not a problem. Dual Strike, yowza. So this board is going to get cleared very easily here. I don't even need to do anything special. Oh, excellent. So I'm absolutely intending to just play Musket Cannon Expert first. Very good. Now I want to play Cindersoot Monkey, but I do not want him to get... I don't want him to attack any of their enemies. Any of their... what am I saying? Minions. I just want these minions to die. So as long as the cannonballs from my 2 cannoneers, as long as one of them hits this bird, I'm in a pretty good position. That's not what happened, but I killed him anyway, so... Things are not terrible here. I have good control of the board, and I'm able to play Morty with a Grog next turn. Now, how much damage is that going to do? That's going to do 6 damage from each cannon, and those are able to hit the enemy. I think I might want to save that until his board is completely clear, because if I send any of those cannonballs into one of these minions, I'm just going to lose a lot of value for no benefit. So this turn I'm going to take it a little bit slower. Oh right, I have this. I totally forgot. I'll go for it. Holy smokes. That is wild. Gosh. I totally forgot that I had this Blitz burst in here. This is the first time I've used it. That was really cool. I liked that a lot. Alright, not bad. She put up a really good fight. Had to kind of claw my way onto the board there. But as I figured, you know, as soon as the cannons got online and started taking the minions out, there's just no way for her to reestablish a board presence, and it seems like her deck was not capable of making plays without a board presence, so... excellent, that played out just about exactly how I hoped it would. Let's see what we have here. Rally Guy would be nice. Jolly Bomber, 2 mana 2/2 pirate is nice. The bomb's doing 4 damage. This is something I encountered in the Tusk Tales. It was something that I had underestimated, was the value of just dealing 4 damage and they can't interact with it in any kind of way. And the other thing that I had learned in Tusk Tales was the 2/1 with Double Strike. That one was a lot more valuable than I gave it stock for here. Now, enemies are a lot tankier now in Fable than they are in portions of Tusk Tales, so maybe it's less valuable than it would be there, but I did find that interesting nonetheless. I think I'm just going to spend this on advancing this tree for now, because I kind of just want to push a few combat encounters for a little bit before I worry too much about rebuilding the deck. Very good.
Eek! Mama lost! But how?
The nerve! Attacking a little old lady like myself! Have you no shame, bullying women and children?
Oh boy. Miss, your lad's been causing all sorts of trouble for me and me crew. Spreading false rumours, sending deadly Scythe-wielding assassins after us, and trying to do us in when we popped in to visit his little establishment. If anything, I'd say old Grub is in the wrong here, not us.
Grubber Wilbur Grubbington! Is this all true? Maybe?
I know I've raised you better than that! You're in trouble now, mister! I'm revoking your broker privileges! No more shady dealings till you've learned your lesson, understand?
I understand, Mama.
Grub's grounded.
Alright, what's the goods? Show me the booty. An ocarina. Well, you know, I'm not too big of a fan of giving my opponent cards, so I will not be using that for now. It would be valuable, I suppose, if I was like extraordinarily aggressive, like if I was like straight up spamming 1 and 2 drops, and then I just never run out of gas, and I could kind of bulldoze a slower deck that kind of doesn't come online till like turn 4. Could be worth a consideration. Nothing I want to do right now, though. Alright, let's get out of here. Yep. Just head on to the east. I don't believe there were any other unfinished items of business. What do we have here? We have... who are you? Jolly Roger. He does look jolly. That is for sure. He has... bombs deal 1 more damage, so 5 damage from bombs. Not a really big deal, I don't think. Defeat the enemy in 10 turns or less, won't be a problem. Kill 3 or more enemies, very easy. Take less than 15 damage, that could be troublesome, you know, like 2 bombs and a couple of chip damage attacks. That could make that inconvenient, but I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to run it with cannons. If I find I want something a little more proactive, then so be it.
Hold it right there, you scallywags! This here's turf of Captain Coxswain! You best be turning yourselves round back the way you came!
No can do, little guy. We're charting a course straight for Fort Bilgebaum. Got some important business with your captain, you see.
Well then, if you won't listen to reason, then it looks like I'll have to blow you up! Prepare yourself for 300 tons of bombastic mayhem!
Alrighty. Keeping Barrel Mutt. Another Barrel Mutt, very good. Musket Cannon Expert keep might be a little too greedy here, but Barrel Mutts can stall for a long time. I'm not really sure if I am worried about being a little greedy here. The real question is, am I going to be using my extra mana to play a turn 2 Barrel Mutt into a turn 3 Barrel Mutt, or am I going to be using it to play a turn 4 Musket Cannon Expert? Do I think he has synergies with this 1/1 Pirate Recruit? I'm fairly confident he does not, so I'm not really interested in using the Cinder Soot to trade with it. That would use my mana. I'm not sure if there's any way for him to get value out of that, so I'm just gonna hold the card. If there was, like if there's some kind of way he could buff this 1/1 Pirate, I would want to get rid of it, but I just don't feel like that is a thing that he can do, and just swinging for 1 chip damage every turn, who cares? Because now I can simply I can block this guy for free with the Barrel Mutt. Very good. The +1 relic. +1 attack, very strong effect, exactly for reasons like this, right? Like 3 mana 2/3 just trades extremely well with things. Now see, that's interesting, because now this column is contested by him, and I don't necessarily want to lose my Barrel Mutt to the Pirate Recruit. What I could do is I could put a Barrel Mutt over here, clear the whole column, and then I could play... what do I want to do? So, the trouble here is I'm pretty sure the enemies will be attacking from bottom to top. So like his Jolly Bomber attacks first and then the Pirate Recruit. So I couldn't do something like playing the bird here for the discounts. This is most curious. Now what I could do is play the bird, get the discounts, and then... Oh, that's right, the Cinder Soot monkeys are not pirates. I've made that mistake many, many times, and evidently I still continue to do so. Nonetheless, though, with a handful of pirates, that was a very, mana-efficient play there. Now let's confirm. I do believe it is going to be the Jolly Bomber attacking first into the Rigbeak. So I won't get the free kill. I was incorrect. It actually does attack with the pirate first. Never mind. I don't know why I thought that it was going to work the other way. Alright. Alright, so now I have to make the decision, do I want to play musket or flintlock? I think musket is just strictly the better play. And what I could do, in fact, is play the musket here. I won't be trading with anything this turn, but it will full block both of the opposing minions with the cannons that he summons. Neither of them will be under threat. And then next turn, I'll be able to easily clear this board. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Alright. My opponent's ways are... My opponent works in mysterious ways, that's for sure. Okay, so we got 5 mana. We could play a flintlock plus a monkey, or I could just start spamming down some minions. I think I do want to clean this hand out a little bit. Let's play this flintlock here. Good. Yeah, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can check here actually. 8 cards in hand. I'm gonna draw 1 for next turn. Okay, so I'm not in danger of overdrawing, so I can just pass turn. So it's hard to imagine a world where I lose this game. I do have the potential of taking a lot of damage from bombs here and failing that accolade. I'm not really trying to, get all the accolades right off the bat, so that's not a big deal to me. That's a nice draw. That's going to allow me to do the Morty Howowitz next turn, or yeah, I think I just want to just fire a lot of cannons this turn. Just play some Barrel Mutts. Very good. Alright, I think that did all the accolades actually. Unless I miscounted the damage. Very good. And this gives me Pirate's Creed, redeem a pirate minion. Redeem being choose one of 3 random cards to add to your hand. Okay, so generating value, very nice. Cards offered are neutral or from your hero's faction. Wow, that's an impressive spell. This fits right into this deck. Let me go see how many of those, if any, I can make.
Guy, you got me! Looks like my precious bombastic babies just weren't enough.
Huh, good riddance.
What a deranged little fellow! Is this the kind of behavior we can expect from the rest of Coxswain's crewmen?
Aye, it's what makes he and his lackeys a dangerous gang of pirates. We best be on our guard. No telling how many more of his crazy crew are waiting up ahead.
Indeed.
Oh, but first, we have a treasure chest. Excellent. $500. Alright, I'll take it. I'm going to take a quick pit stop over to the melding shop. See about making that Discover a Pirate card. Did I miss it? Here it is. Okay, I did miss it. I can have 4 of them. I would like to make all 4. There is an option to skip this. Let me actually go ahead and get that done real quick before I forget. Game settings, where would it be? Gameplay? No. Accessibility, perhaps? Nope. Display? Player data? Of course not. Language? No. Oh, dear heavens, do not do that. Somebody told me where to find it. They said something about 3 dots. Where is that? Is it in here somewhere? 3 dots. I'm not going to spend too much... Oh, it's down here. Oops. Skip cutscene. There it is. Very good. I don't even know how I didn't see that. Silly me. Look at that. Very good. Can I make anything else while I'm here? I could make one more of this guy. That'd be fun. Could make this guy. I'd like to have some of him. Let's make him. Anything else I can make? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back to this chapter with all the resources that I have, and like finish it up later. If I can, I'll just do that. I'll play through all the chapters and then come back later and buy anything that I'm missing. And if that's not something I can do, I would just farm this chapter off camera until I had purchased everything. Just, you know, I want to just have the whole collection. It's fun. Okay, so here I'm going to bring in these Pirates Creeds for sure. Now the question is, who is removed from the... In fact, the actual physical card ship cannon I'm considering removing on account of having Flintlock and Musket, who are much higher tempo plays. Let me think. Like, I have a whole bunch of Cannoneers, but I don't think I'm ever sad to have them. Like, I almost feel like I clog more on Barrel Mutts than I do on Cannoneers, so I could potentially drop, like, down to 2 Barrel Mutts, and then I could drop down to 2 Cannons, and then that... Let's see how that feels. Okay. That said, I'm not really impressed with this Morty build in general. But I have, to be fair, you know, I haven't actually made the Morty play yet, and I haven't really had to either, so maybe as difficulty increases, the efficacy of that particular strategy will increase. So here we have Bloody Bill. Let's check the event first.
Brass, how do you think Coxswain got his hands on the Red Wing?
Well, you know, he's been after her for years now. Ever since,
You can say it, Brass. Not like we don't all know what you're inferring.
Aye, Captain. He's had his eyes set on the Red Wing ever since your pa died. He knows what a grand ship she is, and he thinks only a pirate of his caliber deserves her. Might have caught wind she was up for sale from old Grab and his Brucker lads, and then jumped on the opportunity to finally take her for himself.
Pointy-eared opportunist. That mad mutt couldn't take it from me by force like a real pirate, and instead took it with his coin purse. Coxswain's been breathing down me neck for years now. If he thinks his Red Wing is gonna be a permanent addition to his puppy dog fleet, then he's got another thing coming.
Aye, your pa passed her down to you, and you alone. And I think you've proved yourself well enough by now that you deserve her.
You're one of me oldest pals, Brass. Means a lot to hear you say that.
Of course, Captain. You know I've always got your back.
Don't forget about me! Ha! Don't think I could even if I wanted to, big boy.
Alright. Heartwarming stuff. We have Bloody Bill, defeat the enemy in 10 turns or less, kill 4 minions, negate 3 damage with tough minions. Okay, so... Oh yeah, and then he also will destroy random minions in my deck on combat start. So I'm going to be losing random minions every turn. So with that in mind, I absolutely do not want to be taking this Morty deck into this encounter. That said, Pirates Creed and Grog would gain a lot of value here because I could... well, Pirates Creed not only cannot be eaten, but it can also flexibly provide me with early and late game plays that cannot be eaten. Barrel Mutt still really strong here. Let me edit here. Swamp. I'm gonna make a copy of Morty Open Fire, which I do here. Incorrect. Clone. Very good. Cloned it. And then the clone is here, and we're going to call the clone Shark counter pick. Very good. Equip it. I have my relics on. Very good. Now, Ready Aim Fire is staying. Grog is staying. Pirate's Creed is staying. Morty is coming out. If I wanted to negate that damage for the Accolade, I'd play Buccaneers. So, might as well try. See how it feels. What else do we want? This one I'm thinking is probably going to be a little bit more of a swarmy playstyle. In fact, I could even play Whip Grunts with those Buccaneers, because I believe that would count towards that negate 3 damage with Tough. But let's see. I might want a lower curve as well, just have more cards I can play early in the fight, because relying on higher quality late game drops is not as viable of a strat when he can just take them out of my deck, and I certainly am not going to be mulliganing for them. Let's put you in there. Could take you, take 2 of you. Alright, so I'm going to like stray away from this cannon build here and just try more of like a play pirates on curve kind of strategy. See how that feels. I need to cut 4 more cards. I could cut the Blitz Burst. That would allow me to play 1 extra minion, give me a little more staying power. I guess I'll do that. Play Musket. Why not? Wait, no, I'm trying to cut cards, not increase cards. What am I doing? The Cannoneers. I can cut some Cannoneers. That's the ticket. Alright, let's see how this feels. This is a little sloppy, but we'll give it a go. Alrighty. Keeping the Buccaneer for sure. That's all we're keeping. Ideally, I get myself a Barrel Mutt. I did get a Barrel Mutt. That's gonna... Well, on the one hand, that helps because I get more cards in my hand before he eats them. On the other hand, if him milling me is actually like a win condition in and of itself, then Barrel Mutt would be bad. We'll see. We'll see if it's helping or hurting. Okay, losing a Buccaneer is not a problem whatsoever. Do not care about that. I'm just gonna play a Buccaneer. Keep my mana for later, just go face with him. Yeah. Buccaneer eating a removal spell is great. I am completely happy with that. Okay, he's slow rolling me here. I could just wait till next turn and play Flintlock. Then again, he's not playing any minions. That doesn't really help. I'm just going to play Barrel Mutt instead. Cards in deck, so we are not in trouble yet. So yeah, as expected, we're losing a pretty hefty chunk of our heavy hitters for late game. Go ahead and just play my Cannoneer, and I can go ahead and Grog as well. Very good. Yeah, so I'm not sure, like, is he doing like a control stall thing with all this removal in preparation for a very hefty late game? If that's what he's doing, then I will want to be getting these heavy hitters out for sure. But if all he's doing is just stalling so I can mill out, I don't think I'm too worried about that because I have Admiral Brass in my hand. He's going to give me a lot of offensive power. Also, my positioning was bad. I should have placed Barrel Mutt on the bottom so that I could place Flintlock on the opposing corner, and that way I'd have 3 spaces free. So I was not positioning with Musket Cannon Expert in mind. This is pretty inconvenient. Granted, it's possible that the opponent will clean up my front row for me before that becomes an issue. We'll see. Okay, I get Admiral Brass out on the table. And pretty much what I'm going to have to do here, and I should have cleaned out my... Okay. I still have 1 space in my hand. Good. Oh, no. He just drew an 8-cost minion. What could that be? Or, well, was it minion or card? What did his draw spell say? Well, on the one hand, he graciously cleared up my board for me, which is nice. So I can play this now. This is also going to be kind of like a burn win condition for me. So I can go ahead and just throw this guy down as well. Get 4 damage to the face. Very good. He is starting to get... Draw 3, gain 10 armor. Holy smokes. 7 mana, draw 3 is crazy. Alright, we're at 9 cards in deck. I don't think I'm really worried about this. In fact, I can kind of pop off a little bit here. I can play this, discount everything. In fact, I should also... How's my mana looking? I have 2 mana to play him. That puts me at 2 mana left. I should also play one of these just to get another pirate to start cashing in on discounts with. Quartermaster Sting, that effect is very helpful in this matchup where he's playing a lot of spells and removal. I'd play another bird, which would reduce the Cannoneer to 0. And I want to play in all 3 slots, so I will not be playing another copy of that spell. So bird first, fire, fire, Cannoneer for free. And lastly, this girl, just to get a little extra damage in. Is that lethal? Sure is. Alright. Interesting fight. Curious what his deck has in it. What was his 8 mana card? Because I saw him do 8 damage to things. And I know he had the 7 mana draw 3. But what would have been 8 mana in his deck? This card is only 4. Play, deal 1 damage to a minion and give it 2 power. 4 mana, 3/3, wow. I like this card quite a lot, actually. That Enrage archetype, or whatever they called it, the Pain archetype, is starting to look a lot more appealing. I love anything flexible like this, right? It's removal, it's reach, it's synergy with on-damage effects. I might give that deck another try upon having received that. I'm just going to place the point somewhere for now. I'll respec in a moment, depending on if I can purchase that card or not. Excuse me. Alright, very good. Let's go check on how close I am to making that guy that I just unlocked. Okay, I am not close at all. I can't even make a single one. But I'll keep him in mind. That's compelling. I like the idea of playing a deck with that card and revisiting that archetype. Head to the east. And I do see the icon for that little droplet. What does that mean? Is that just the shop? It is, okay. Hey, it's Barrel Mutt. No way. Except this is Barrel Bryson. He's the The more specialized version of the Barrel Mutt. New shop, new cards, very good. 2 mana, add a Rigbeak and a Ship's Cannon to your hand. Is that worth it? Let me think. So that's the 3 mana cannon and the 3 mana Rigbeak. The Rigbeak indirectly synergizes with the cannon because he reduces the cost of pirates. That costs a whole heck of a lot, but I'm basically pay 2, draw 2. Ooh, that's tough to evaluate. Boombird, a little more straightforward. 4 mana, 1/4 rush flying. Puts a bomb in their deck when he hits them. Wow. That's pretty aggressive. Like a 4 mana, 1/4. Like right off the bat, it's hitting them from turn 4 onwards. Putting bombs in there. I could try a bomb build. I haven't messed with that at all. 4 mana, 3/6. When this is damaged, summon a Rotten Spore on the opponent's side of the field. What is a Rotten Spore? I cannot tell. I don't like the idea of giving my opponent cards, especially not for a minion with this stat line, unless the card is hurtful for them. Oh, there's more. This is the contents of the previous shop. Wow, is that how this works? They get like the previous shop's contents? That's very good if that's the case. I'm just gonna buy all of these. Very good. Do I want to make any changes with that cannon card? Yeah, I don't want to keep playing this shark counter pick. Go back to... I just want to go back to regular old cannon. I wasn't loving Morty. Sorry, Morty. Might take a look at you again in the future. So, I do really like this Pirate's Creed card. So, I'll put that in for sure. I have 4 of these. I'll try 2, and if I like it, I'll try some more. Take Cannoneers down to 6, take Buccaneer down to 0, I think. Alternatively, I could just get rid of the Rigbeaks that are naturally in the deck and only play the spell. Let's do that. And what else do we have in here? That's clogging me up. I feel like I don't actually want 4 Flintlocks, maybe like 3? Yeah, let's give that a go. In fact, maybe even just 2 Flintlocks. I find he's a lot less impressive in bulk than other cards, mostly because of the inconvenient summoning condition and the fact that there is a problem with clogging in the deck, and I would rather be clogged with stuff like Cannoneer than I would with, you know, Flintlock's 2/2 body stuck on the table. So I'm going to put that Cannoneer back in his place. Very good. We'll call this day 5 cannon. Make sure it's equipped, and we are good to go. Let's check out the Barrel Mutt. He has... Okay, I have this as well. Pirates have +1 power. Interesting. Defeat the enemy in 10 turns or fewer while taking less than 15 damage, and prevent Barrel Mutts from drawing more than 6 cards. We'll see about that. Hopefully I can play the board removal game better than he plays it. We will see. Alright, mana advantage here is helpful. Do I want to keep the cannon? Or do I want to keep the provisions? I'll keep the provisions, just to see how I like it. Alright, having my own Barrel Mutt is helpful. If he's playing things like Buccaneer, I can block them profitably. Alright, low tempo start from him, good. Definitely going to be a very board control heavy matchup that we're playing here. No reason to play anything. Just wait, keep my mana. See if he can give me a profitable trade here. He sure does. So I'm going to bear in mind I want to be playing my Barrel Mutts in the back, so that I can keep my board clean for future plays. I learned my lesson there. So Barrel Mutt goes right here. Starting to have hand space concerns as well. So more access to Cockswain will help with that. Oh dear. Alright, I would like to get a cannon down so I can start keeping this board a little clear. Because I do want to get rid of that Barrel Mutt. So this is a little slow, but next turn I can play 2 Cannoneers, and that's going to do a lot of work in keeping his board clear. Him having his own cannon is very inconvenient, but hopefully I can make these Cannoneer plays count. Good. I'd like to see this go. Okay, we'll take it. That is superb. I'm very happy with that outcome. Ideally, I would have killed the Barrel Mutt also, but getting rid of his cannon is very big for me. At this point, I think he's going to have a really difficult time establishing any sort of a board, now that I've gotten the 2 Cannoneers and a cannon online. So things are feeling really good for me. What I can do here is... What would I like to do here? I could just simply play Admiral Brass. I need 3 cannon shots to successfully clear his board, and I have access to exactly 3 cannon shots, so... Yeah, just play him. Let's just slam him down. That's all I gotta do. Very good. This kills the bird. Oh, these go face. Right. My mistake. End of the day, though, not a big deal, and this outcome is perfectly fine with me. Jolly Bomber, non-issue. Bird, non-issue. He's going to need 3 bombs to hit me. He was not successful in doing so. So here, I'm playing Musket Cannon Expert probably, and then I have 1 extra mana to spare, which I can invest on a simple Cindersoot Monkey. Good. And that should be the ball game. Very good. That's all the accolades done. And I received 1 mana Eliminate, which destroys a damaged minion. Very good, so it's Execute. I always liked Execute. Card was crazy. It's pre-nerf Execute, I should say. I almost forgot they nerfed it. Good card. I just keep getting more excuses to want to play that, what is the archetype called? I need to check on the name of the archetype so I can stop struggling to remember. Blood Boil is what they call it. Yeah, Blood Boil keeps looking more and more interesting as time goes on. And, hold on, was this the one, control 2 unique classes? Yeah. Wasn't too fond of this ultimate here. Red Wing Raid would... I'm not even sure if I want Red Wing Raid if I'm playing this deck. Well, I don't know if any burst is particularly impactful here, but, like, yeah, I'm going to revisit that later. Mana Forge, I don't think anything here will have changed. I think it's just the same recipes that I have. But let's see if there's anything I can craft here. I don't think is. Oh, there is, as a matter of fact. I could make more of this guy. Very good. Put him in the deck. Well, maybe not. No, never mind. This deck's a little too cloggy for that. What is this? This is different area, which is... What area would that be? Like, south would be going to this diamond. Let's see what's in here. Some kind of isolated location with Abraxas up there. And the shark wants a rematch. Sharkfin Dirk. This time he has another accessory. He has your 1-cost minions have rush and fleeting. Interesting. The other one was not playing 1-cost minions, so I'm curious the difference there. I'm just going to run the deck that I have currently, and if it doesn't work, I'll swap. I expect his deck to be different to make use of that 1-cost minion trinket. We'll see. Keeping Pirate's Creed, like the others. Alright, I'll just go ahead and do this. And I would like things... Coxswain is not valuable at all. Barrel Mutt is valuable. What does Prince Parsley do? Tough, played, add 4 puff caps to my deck. I don't know what puff caps are, but he's got good... He's a nice chunky top end, and that's what my deck is probably going to be missing, so I'll take him. Plus it makes my deck bigger. Protects me from the milling he's going to be doing. So far things are not looking any different. Okay, now they are looking different. Buccaneer is funny to have fleeting, because he just dies. The tough didn't matter. Alright, we got the Cannoneer, that's good. I'll go ahead and just drop it on the table. I suppose there would be an argument for not playing the Cannoneer because I know he has that 2-mana kill a minion card, but I'm not really worried about it. Okay, so he's just getting in for 1 damage on the Cannoneer. I don't really care about that. I do believe there is a spell. It's like 1 mana deal 2, possibly 2 mana deal 2. So I guess he could tag me with that, but not an issue really. I either want to play another Cannoneer and then make a minion, or I want to Barrel Mutt. I think I'd rather have the other Cannoneer, because next turn I'd like to be playing Flintlock, and that this improves that play. Here, oh, I would absolutely like to take the musket, no question about it, but let's take a look at Pink Bonnet just in case. 6 mana, 4/6, Pirate. Combat start removes a puff cap from my deck and deals 2 damage to a random enemy. Okay, so that's a little too niche and understated for what I want. Just musket is easily the right choice to take here, and call it a day. So next turn the plan is going to be to play Flintlock, get the cannon, get 2 shots off the cannon from these Cannoneers, presumably. And then the turn following I'll be playing Musket Cannon Expert. So yeah, being mindful of my positioning on these minions to ensure that I can just easily drop Musket on turn 5 every time has been very helpful. That was certainly something I was not doing very well previously. So now we get in for a pretty sizable chunk of damage. I feel like this version of Sharkfin is weaker than the other one because he has these Buccaneers that are not contributing to his strategy. Oh, he's tough. Right. Okay. That's moderately inconvenient. Okay, pretty powerful. What is this visual appearance that his card has, where it looks like crumbled rock or something? Is that, yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, I think this is what the cards look like that, like, resurrect and are gonna die for realsies. I don't know. What's the plan here? I could play Red Wing Provisions, or I could just, like, Cinder Soot, or I could... No need to overthink it, just fire off some cannons. Cash in for lethal. Alright, well that was pretty straightforward and easy. Got another level, excellent. I want to get Rally Guy, and I'm actually thinking I would like to be able to like respec points individually instead of having to respec the whole tree. Like if I could right click this point so I could get rid of Sea Shanty and this heart and just go up and grab this excuse me, this berserker. So I'll take a note of that. That would be something I'd like to see. Not a huge deal, just a minor quality of life. And my card for this one is 7 mana 5/5 Pirate, Captain Poe, has Hothead. That's pretty big for a 7 mana card to have. Played, give each friendly minion with a unique class +3/+3. So, there are two ways I could foresee this playing in practice, right? When they say unique class, is that the way this game refers to the tag that a card has, like him having Pirate? Is that what they're calling unique class? And the reason I think this is important is because when I read this, intuitively I would think, alright, so if I have like 10 pirates, one of those pirates is going to get +3/+3 because that is, you know, only one of those pirates is unique because they're all pirates. Now, in the meantime, if I had like one pirate and one golem, then one pirate and one golem gets the buff. If I had one pirate, one golem, and one who knows what, I don't know what else there is, dragon, I think. So I'm curious. With me explaining it out that way, since it doesn't say random, it says each, I feel like it's probably the former, where it's just like if something has a tag, it gets +3/+3. And if that's how it works, this would be insanely strong. This is like a really beefed up version of the monkey, the 6 mana 6/6, give +1/+1. But 7 mana is a lot. I'll test that when I get the chance. I'm curious. Very good. Sharkfella has failed again. Sorry, bud. Better luck next time. $500. Very good. I like money.
Now this is my kind of place. Why are we idling in this decrepit shack? If I wanted to watch a parade of crooks drink, shout, and smack each other around, I'd simply observe you and your companions for an afternoon. Answer me, pirate!
We're looking for info, of course.
We're gathering info. Who knows what kind of crazy tricks that bastard coxswain is hiding up his fancy coat sleeves? And you expect to uncover his secrets in this run-down tavern? You'd be surprised the sort of things people are willing to share when they got a few drinks in them. I'll admit, you make a compelling point. And I suppose this rundown pub is situated in his territory. I'd wager many of the patrons here belong to this coxswain fellow's crew. See, now you're thinking like a pirate. I'm thinking like a strategist. How absurd that you'd compare me to the likes of you and your ilk. I don't know, Braxy. The more time you spend around pirate folk, the harder it is resisting the piratey lifestyle. Won't be long now till you're singing sea shanties and digging up treasure. If it comes to that, and it won't, I permit you to put me out of my misguided misery. Couldn't do that, Braxy. What would I tell the princess? Ha ha ha.
Man, I love this guy. This Abraxas is certainly my favorite character in this game. Did I check this card shop? I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so I am done here. Moving on. A trinket shop. See, this is where I figure out that I've outplayed myself by buying the shop out again. And I knew this was coming, right? Like, I knew if there was another melder and another card shop, there would be another trinket shop too. So I knew this, and I just wanted the cards because I like having all the cards. But let's just look and see how punished I am. At the start of your first turn, draw an extra card. That's pretty good. One cost minions have Russian Fleeting. I don't think I want that. Especially considering my one drops are just Buccaneer and the Pirate guy, and I would prefer if Buccaneer did not have Fleeing. I don't think I was punished. Like, I'm just gonna buy Supply Sack. Because, you know, an extra card for $1,000, why not? Let's go ahead and equip that. Wow, and this Ocarina is even... Now, hold on. Actually, I'm silly. Coral Ocarina would be so strong in a bomb build. I don't know why I didn't think of that immediately when I looked at it. But yeah, me drawing more cards for myself allows me to play more combo pieces. My opponent drawing more cards, while it would make them better at having cards, they would also draw their bombs faster and die faster. And, you know, it seems thus far that the opponents tend to be very mid-range or control, so they're not going to be drawing 2 cards a turn and playing 2 or 3 cards a turn. They're going to be drawing 2 cards a turn and still just playing 1 card, so... This is more appealing than I thought. I kind of just dismissed it immediately. But we'll come to that another time. I'm still very happy with this deck that I'm running. Let's do the event first.
Captain, you see what I'm seeing? Looks like a big old mushroom floating out in the sea. Well, shiver me timbers. Must be a ship of some sort. Wonder if it's edible. Ha! Aye, rookie pirates are always looking for flashy gimmicks to set themselves apart from the rest of the up-and-coming riffraff. That'd be true, Brass. Aye, maybe if we're lucky, we'll run 'em out in the... Hold on. We'll run into 'em out in the open seas. Can't think of anything more thrilling than clashing swords with the mushroom-headed bloke commanding that floating fungal tub. Aye, Captain, a real sport spectacle that'd be. The Battle of the Portobello Pirates! That'd be one for the history books.
Kind of almost looks like a scarecrow with this little protrusion on the top. I'm not even sure what that is. That's either like straw or that's like it's like a duck foot or a trident. Who knows? That's these Portobello pirates and their curious ship toppings. So my options here are the level 6 guy or this guy who is level 6 also, but he's blocking a chest and I want to open a chest, so I'm going to fight him. He has the Presto Gauntlet. If you have armor, shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. That's dangerous. And also the Shrapnel Earrings, bombs deal 1 more damage. Alright, I'm gonna just run this deck. This deck might be a little too slow. Like if he plays a turn 1 Grog, he has armor for the whole game, and it's not gonna be until like turn 3 or 4 that I'm gonna be able to get rid of that armor probably. So that could be a problem. Except that I opened with Barrel Mutt and Cannoneer, so not actually a problem at all. And yes, I'm beginning to think, now that I have this card, I want to just get rid of the cannons that are in my deck, like the vanilla cannons. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. So this is going to be a lot of bombs, and you know, I really don't have the capacity to get rid of them. I am going to throw this Cannoneer down immediately, on the off chance that this is able to, you know, chip that 2 armor and he doesn't play anymore. so I could nip this in the bud. And that's exactly what happens. Very good. I also control his board here. This is great. This panned out better than I expected. Gonna play this Cannoneer as well. I do want to be careful about the Barrel Mutt. I do have, what do I have, like 5 bombs in here already? It's this one. 4 bombs already. Soon to be 5. So that's a little spooky. I want to be careful about thinning the deck when possible. I would prefer to make use of this. What just happened? Oh, I drew a bomb. Okay. 7 cards in hand. Alright. This Armor Fairy is very inconvenient. I don't like that at all. I think I'm going to play the Mutt just to keep my Cannoneer. This does go counter to what I was just... Huh? Oh. Okay, so I just like completely fumbled the bag on that play. For some reason I was thinking I would play the Barrel Mutt, and then on his turn he would attack with the Fairy and the Mutt would block it. I completely disregarded the fact that the Cannoneer was going to attack into her and die. That's my mistake. I got lost in the sauce trying to think 10 turns ahead. I wasn't looking 2 steps ahead. Alright, this Buccaneer is gone. Let's see. So I could play this Cannoneer here. Very good. And I could use a Cindersoot Monkey to kill this Armor Fairy. I don't know if I care that much. So I could just play this spell instead. And I will not overcap on cards, so I'll just stick with this line of play instead. Truth be told, I probably should have played that spell much earlier in the game. Give me a lot more flexibility. Oh no, that's really bad. Okay, so cannons line up into his board very well, and he has 1 card in hand. So I clean this board up and just hopefully don't draw 2 more bombs, but fact of the matter is, very possible that I do draw 2 more bombs because he's giving me a lot of them by this point. So that is certainly a danger that we're facing. Just play another Cannoneer. No worries. Very good. Unfortunately, I'm going to be eating the 1 damage from that Buccaneer, which does matter because that means I can only take 2 more hits from bombs instead of 3. So ideally, I would have prevented that Buccaneer from attacking with 1 of the bombs. Obviously, it was a 50-50 depending, you know, if I put my Cannoneer here and the other one survived, I'd be in the same position, but that is just interesting how those cards played out. If I did a discount, I would have 3 mana, and I could play this Flintlock. So I think I'm going to do that. Play Rigbeak and then Flintlock. The Flintlock has to be here, so the Rigbeak I could just put anywhere else. I'll put him protecting this cannon. Very good. Placed Flintlock right here. That destroys him. Alright. So things are very, very dangerous here. I should be able to secure lethal next turn. Oh, well, never mind. Oh, I'm dead for sure. No shot. I was not prepared for that card right there. There's no shot I'm alive here. Okay, so there is shot I'm alive here actually. I could play Admiral Brass, and then play the bird. Bird gets... Huh? What just happened? Hold on. Something funny just happened. Did the game just not let me play Rigbeak, but use the mana for it? Let me look at the history. Redcroft starts, draws, plays brass, plays provisions. Ah, you see, I thought it was I thought it was Rigby. It was provisions, so that was user error. Very good. Good job, me. So I'm probably dead. But if I'm not dead, then he's dead. But like, there's no way I'm not dead, right? Like, I've got how many bombs in here by now? 20? 14 bombs out of a deck that has 31 cards. So almost half of my deck is bombs. And I've just got 3 more. 2 more. Alright, here we go. Do I draw 2 in a row? No. Okay, well, do I win? I have this for 6 mana, which will be doing 8 damage. And just whatever. Yeah, like I won. Somehow. That's really funny. Just make sure I didn't miscount here. I need to do 11 damage. Yes, got it. That was extremely messy. Very, very messy. With a couple of misplays, but I somehow got through. Somehow I didn't draw any bombs. It was very probable for me to have drawn at least one of them there, but somehow I did not, so neat. That's really funny. What do we have here? 2 mana 0/2 Fidget. He's cute. He's a little golem guy. When your turn starts, destroy all minions. Oh my. So you're telling me I could... Who's the guy in Hearthstone? This is like Doomsayer, but like a lot worse because he's not like anywhere close to as tanky as Doomsayer was. And I'm not really sure how effectively I'd be able to protect something like this, but like, that's crazy. This has got to be such a good tech card to have. Like, if somebody's just slamming big old minions like at like a 0/20 or something in every column, and I just need to burn through. That's a fun little card to have access to. And he's cute. I like him. Oh, now see, I needed a lot of these mana shards, so I'm real happy to see that. Go ahead and just buy that other trinket because I want to have it, even though I don't want to use it. If I was playing aggro, I guess something like this would be helpful. Just mush. Okay, let me go back to the Melder, who is thankfully just one screen away. And since I have those additional 5 Darkness from Hades, I'll probably make some stuff that I want. What was this again? This was deal 1 and give +2 power. Versus Whip Grunt. Let's finish up the Whip Grunts first, and then start worrying about the Brutal Tyrants. One Brutal Tyrant. Okay, you know what? I think I've seen enough. I think it's time to revisit the this archetype, the Blood Boil. Yes, that's the one. So that's what we'll do. We want Rally Guy. I don't know, Clean Sweep I could probably make plays with. If I see other unique classes that I am interested in, I will go into Blood Crusade. Otherwise, I will go into something else instead. So I'll sit on those other leveling points for now and spend them in a moment. So I'm gonna just make a new deck from scratch because it was a long time ago that I tried to make a Blood Boil deck, and I think I would prefer to just start over again. So we want the Spin Blade for sure, the Buccaneers with Tough, very helpful. We want all 8 Whip Grunts. Let's see here. Potentially want the Frit Spots on account of the self-damage proccing effects. We'll see if I change my mind here. The Cutlass Swine will be helpful because it'll receive the +1/+1s from Rally Guy in theory, which in turn will give me kind of like something with reach, right? Like even just a single buff, it's already just 6 damage I can plop down on the board for 3 mana. 2 buffs, 8 damage. Very good for closing games out. I want the Berserkers for sure. We're at 28 cards. One Brutal Tyrant, that's all I can afford for now. The Clean Sweeps, go ahead and put those in there. Seafaring Ape, let's put some of those in here as well. Now, how are we looking on pirates? Like, very few, just the Buccaneers and the Cutlass Swine. I am considering doing like a cute little package here where I have like one or two Barrel Mutts and then the 2 Cutlass Swines, and then that way I can just always guarantee that I have Cutlass Swine by the time I would want it. I don't think I want Red Wing Provisions or any of the other like later game pirate synergies. Like Admiral Brass doesn't really do much for me. The Rotten Slime, this could be interesting if... Oh, I can check now. Is the Rotten Spore good for me, right? So it's a 1 mana 0/2 inanimate, so just a 2 mana thing that blocks them. On death deals 1 damage to a random character. So this one will clog their board. I don't know if I've played any opponents where clogging their board is meaningful, but sure. And the random ping, there's a lot of good outcomes for this for me, right? Like the only bad outcome is if I've really gone in on somebody and it only has 1 life left and not tough. But like that would be a conscious choice that I made and played into the Rotten Spore low roll. And then obviously if I'm pinging the opponent stuff. Okay, so this is actually not bad. Maybe I'm taking the Buccaneers out in favor of having this guy instead as like my mid-range. I do have a lot of mid-range though. Maybe I take out Fritz spots for him instead. So do I take the Buccaneers is the question. I think I do. Maybe not. I'll take the Buccaneers out. And with that being the case, I just need 1 more card in here, and that could be I guess just 1 Fritz spot will do nicely. And do I want to do that pirate package with Cutlass Swine? Because I could just take out the Fritz spot and like something else, and that way I would have like a 2 Barrel Mutt package just to have 1/3 blockers at the 2 mana. Let's do that. So go into the level grid, get the Barrel Mutt, really good single point to spend. Just dump these other points like in this tree, I think, because I could see myself putting enough pirates in here possibly to proc that eventually. I need to put the relics in. I want to have Red Wing Flag. You know, I mean, it's not great because I have very few pirate minions, but it does add 2 damage to the burst of the Cutlass Swine. 2 Cinder Soot Monkeys. I mean, sure, it's just 2 free 1/1s. Gives me a little board control in the early game, which I don't have really, besides the Saw Blade, which I'd prefer to save till later. And then also Combat Earrings. This is interesting. This could actually be useful here. Do I want the Combat Earrings in here? Nah, we'll just leave it at this for now. So edit the deck. We're going to put, where is he? Barrel Mutt. We're going to put like 2 Barrel Mutts in. And then we're going to take out one Fritz spot and 1 of the Rotten Slime. So this is interesting, right? So the 2 Barrel Mutts, if I would like to mulligan into a Barrel Mutt just because it can stall the board, give me some card advantage. And the Barrel Mutt will either get me another Barrel Mutt, or it'll get me the Swine, or it'll get me the Seafaring Ape. And if I get the other Barrel Mutt, then the 2 of them together will draw the rest of the pirates. So this is like a nice little mini package of pirates that I can mulligan into that gets me everything that I need. Pretty interesting. Let's try this one out for realsies this time and see what I think. Going south, and then here I believe there was that other combat encounter I wanted to take. Ah yes, we meet again. This time he has combat earrings and red wing flag. Now see, this could be threatening. It could be hard to establish a board against this. And that's actually something I want to do this time, is establish a board without having O5s that can just eat the hit. Let's see what happens. Let's take this old deck out for a spin. I'm excited to see how it feels. Cutlass Swine I do not want in my opener. Seafaring Ape I don't want. Spin Blade I don't think I want that either, because a lot of his X1s I expect will be dying because they're 1-drops that die to fleeting. So we did get the Barrel Mutt, that's great. We also got the Whip Grunt, which is also great. Very exciting stuff. Okay, just 1 mana burn for 2, dies, perfectly fine. Okay, so here's my options. I could play the Whip Grunt now, and then play another Whip Grunt next turn, and then a Barrel Mutt after that. I think Swarming is valuable for me, because he does have pretty good access to board control tools, so if I've gone wide, it'll be more difficult to control my board. We'll give that a shot. Alright, that's fine. Very good. This probably dies to a 1-drop. No big deal. Hello. Alright. That's actually fine. I'm perfectly happy trading my Whip Grunt into this Barrel Mutt here. That damage doesn't matter. I have plenty of health. Not really crazy about having both copies of Clean Sweep so early. In fact, I don't even know if I want 2 copies of this. I might go down to 1 copy, or even 0 really. So Rally Guy, this is interesting. This is something I might be interested in having on the board right away. So let's get him down, get him that buff. 3/3, pretty good. Take out his... There is an exceedingly long delay, it seems, after Whip Grunt completes its animation before I can proceed to combat. That's interesting. I wonder why there's such a delay there. And I wonder if it precludes me from doing other things as well. Okay, that's fine too. You know, just kill the Barrel Mutt. Not even have to trade, just straight up kill it. Perfectly fine with that. Berserker, very good. So Berserker is going to gain a boost from him being there and trading with the Barrel Mutt. I think I just want to play the Berserker straight up. Very good. So individual card quality in this deck definitely is a lot higher. It's nice having just each minion feel like it can be chunky and threatening. Whereas, you know, the Cannon deck, half the board is synergies only. Okay, this is fine. What's the most clean way I can deal with this situation here? So I kill the Barrel Mutt as long as any friendly minion takes damage here. I would like to keep my Rally Guy on the table if at all possible here. I could play both Cinder Soots into this Jolly Bomber, and that would also get me 2 Rally Guy buffs and 2 Berserker buffs, which is interesting. That's very compelling. I think that's the most ideal line, is play 2 Cinder Soots and also a Barrel Mutt, and call it a day. Yep, that's the line. I would also probably like to very good, very good. Now the question is, do I actually want to play the Barrel Mutt, or do I want to just drop this 4/4 Whip Grunt instead? I think that's better for me, because I can get more damage effects in. He's just a chunky guy. That's a big old fella right there. Get some more buffs off. Yeah, this deck's really starting to pop off now. A really strong mid game in this deck. Okay. Opponent is drawing some cards. Ah, look who it is. It's this guy. Sure, let's play him. Let's play him for the fun of it. Alright. So the real unfortunate outcome here would be if that slime pings my rally guy. But I've gotten quite a lot of value out of him. So there it is. That's pretty funny. Alright, so just for fun, let's read the slime. Is it any target? Any character? I think it's a random character. I think that includes the faces. So that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 out of 7. That's funny. That's really funny. Alright, so this guy's popping off all of a sudden. What's going on here? Oh my god. That was an overwhelming turn. Holy moly. I might actually be in trouble here. Clean sweep doesn't really do a whole lot for me here. It would if I could combo it with Spin Blade, but I cannot. What do I do? I think I want to have Barrel Mutt. What do I do? I'm gonna do this to kill his 3/1 there, which is causing me problems. Unfortunately, you know, I'm gonna lose my Berserker to this Barrel Belly Brute, and it's going to do the 2 damage AoE to enemy minions, so I don't want to place whatever I play there. This column is pretty much just locked, so I'll place a Barrel Mutt, 2 Barrel Mutts in this column here to fortify it. Actually, I'll place 1 here, so I can have coverage in every column. Alright, so this is a lot more scuffed than I was anticipating on account of how strong that play he just made was. And he does have 4 cards, soon to be 5, which is very frightening. So I'm actually starting to get kind of worried here. I think I'm dead. He got me. Yeah, that was an absolute beating. So I think my deck design for this archetype is not quite there yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to cannons for this fight, clear it up, we'll work on refining this deck a little more later. Yeah, I don't think it's quite there, but I like the theory of it. I like the idea of the deck. What was I playing? It was... oh dear. Was it day 5 cannon? I believe it was. So let's go ahead and respec my level grid back real quick. We have Barrel Mutt plus this whole tree here plus I don't know. What else was I running in here? This stuff, I suppose. Very good. Why is it saying I only have 16 out of 30 cards? I guess this this number here just isn't updating after me respecking is probably all it is. Except when I'm... Hold on. It says I don't have Barrel Mutt. Did I make a mistake? Or do I just have to put them in there? Ah, so I see how this works. I have to put the cards back in myself, it seems. Put these cannoneers in there. One more cannoneer. And there's 2 more cards. Musket Cannon Expert. Very good. Alright, yeah. So my Blood Boil deck just needs a little more time in the oven, I think. Let's try it again. This hand's kind of slow, but it's very high value. I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's fine. Just throwing a card away, basically. I think I'm going to save... Never mind, I'm just going to get these cards in my hand right off the bat. Oh dear. That's a meaningful amount of pressure from him. I could take it down with 2 monkeys. In fact, I think I will. There we go. Keep the board clear for now. Next turn I can deploy a cannon and start contesting the board in that way. That's scary. I'm not going to be able to get rid of that for a while. Cannoneer helps quite a lot. So I'm going to just deploy a cannon. I'd rather just take the 2 damage than risk losing this cannon to anything. In case he plays like a swine or something, which would be really unfortunate. Another Barrel Mutt. Okay, so that's really scary because I'm gonna have a really hard time killing both. In fact, I might even struggle to kill one if my cannonballs go in less than optimal locations. This is getting tricky. So I think the line here, I play Rigbeak and then the Cannoneer, get 2 cannonballs, and then a 3rd one at the beginning of combat, and hopefully that is adequate to destroy these guys. And if not, I can... If I place the Rigbeak in one of these columns, I do guarantee that I will kill that Barrel Mutt in combat, but I will die in return as well. And the trouble is... Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I would need next combat for that to pay off, and he would be drawing the cards anyways by the time that happens, so I gain no value by playing it that way. That's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, my opponent does have an absolute load of card advantage here, so it's really critical that I keep his cannons under control, because if I don't, he's going to be able to play a lot of cards and just take back the board, and I really don't want him to do that. Bomb, not a big deal. Alright, so I have one of these of my own, but I would like to be playing pirates instead, so I can shoot my cannon. That said, the only pirate I could play is Admiral Brass. I do have 1 mana to spare, so I'm going to use it on this. Go ahead and take the Musket Cannon Expert. Pretty easy pick. With that being the case, he's going to have to go on this bottom right section there, so that means that I'm pretty much definitely playing Admiral Brass because there's no room to play Flintlock in that curve. So Brass goes up here in this corner. We got the Barrel Mutt, that's very good. This cannon hopefully will be taking. Very good. So I've done done well. I mean, the most important minion is still on the board, but the second most important in the Barrel Mutt is gone. And I do have a wide board, so it'll be less straightforward for him to just blow my whole board out with cannonballs. In fact, he wasn't able to blow my board out at all with the cannonballs, so that's great for me. I think I have 5 bombs in here. Oh, just 2. Not bad. Alright, so I think I can win here, probably. Is there a better line than just slamming the musket cannon expert and calling it a day? Can go ahead and drop one of these pirate screens as well, since I can afford to do so. Grandpa Rigo. That upside's not really valuable to me. A hothead minion could be valuable, I'll take that. Very good. Alright, so he has the capacity to play a lot of cards here, but I just am not worried at all. You know, I don't think he's going to be able to clear my board in a meaningful way. I don't think he's going to be able to deal a meaningful amount of damage to my face. I'm at a point now where I need to take 3 bombs to die. And I'm not really worried about drawing 3 bombs here. And that's the ball game. He is dead. Just play both cannoneers here. Fire off a load of cannonballs. Oh, that's beautiful. This is much, much cleaner. Look at that. Much better than the other attempt went. And what did I get from this one? I received Barrel Belly Brute. At long last, he's been added to my pool of candidates. Yeah, 2 mana, 2/2, plunder, deal 2. Like, is this... Do I want this? The niche would be he's difficult to, like, chomp, right? Like, if they're just spamming 1/1s in a column, this guy's pretty good at cleaning that up, but... I don't know if he's a priority acquisition for my strategy, but it's good to have more cards in my pool. Very good. Alright, and then I believe this is a boss down here if this skull is any indication. I don't think I'm going to be doing that today, but let's scout out the area. Loyal Coxswain, level 10 with 4 relics. Wow, that's a lot of relics. Pretty scary. Let's check out this event.
Army Eyes playing tricks on me.
Nope, you're seeing clearly, Captain. That's the Red Wing. She seems to be floating out there all by her lonesome.
And she looks to be in fine shape. That's a relief. Surprise Coxswain hasn't blown a few holes in her already, carrying around all those bombs of his.
A relief to be sure. I've missed watching those old sails catch the wind.
Humph. I suppose Grubb was, in fact, telling the truth. And I take it that the stone fortress by the cliffside belongs to Coxswain?
That it does. Fort Bilgebaum in all its bombastic glory. Away from the hustle and bustle of the major ports. Real easy to get in and out with the pirates' booty. Maybe someday I'll take this place for myself. Ha!
A fine prize that would make, Captain.
That it would, Brass. Now let's go pay that scurvy dog Coxswain a visit. Think it's about time negotiations for getting me ship back or get onto way.
Where would you, Captain?
Major Melee inbound. To think I'd be forced to play part in a petty pirate squabble.
Alright, that's going to be it for today. That was a lot of fun. I'm starting to see the enemy decks, like, you know, they're really... Playtime's over. Enemy decks are actually trying to do stuff, and they're trying to do it quick, and they're trying to do it good. And I like that. It means that my deck building choices are really starting to matter, and I can't get away, like... Another way to put it is, I know if things are good in my deck or not, because if they're not good, I will struggle, and if they are good, I won't. So, very good. You know, I'm still loving cannons. I branched out briefly to try the Blood Boil, and I don't think that I built the deck very well. I'm going to revisit that, maybe off stream, and see some adjustments I can make. In theory, it felt good having like a strong mid-range curve where I had minions where each individual minion was strong, but it kind of fell flat in execution, and I really have mixed feelings about the 7 mana board. Well, I don't want to call it a wipe because it's explicitly not a wipe, but that card, it doesn't feel that good to me, so I might just drop that and go for a little more early game plays. But yeah, next time I'm going to also try the Pirate Swarm archetype, which I have completely... I haven't touched that at all, and it's not too different from cannons, I suppose. Only difference would be instead of cannons controlling the board, I would be more so just buffing pirates on the board and being a little more aggressive and less board controlling. So that's something I would like to try as well. I could, in theory, replace the cannon Blitz Burst with the Swarm Blitz Burst, which I will soon have access to, because summoning 8 pirates shouldn't be too difficult for me to do. But this would be a lot weaker in the cannon build because the cannons themselves are not pirates, I don't believe. And so half my board would not contribute to that Blitz Burst. So yeah, some really cool stuff to try. I'm still having a blast. Story, I'm loving the story. I love the characters, love the writing, I love everything. I'm having a really great time. And Tusk Tales, I'll talk more about that in future videos, but I had a good time with Tusk Tales as well. It's like a completely different gameplay experience for the better. And so yeah, love it. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.